Good afternoon, dear students. Thank you, all of you, for being here. This is Mr. Maurice, your English teacher. I'm pretty happy, as usual, to start in a new class with you. Let me activate something here, the subtitles. Yeah. Okay, so before starting the English class, please, I do need you guys start your cameras, please. Thank you. Please, I need you to start your cameras before starting the class. As I always says, I do respect your privacy, but this is a class and I need you to start your cameras. Thank you, Angie. Nice to see you again. So please, for the other student, if you have any problem with your devices, please try to fix them. If you got a problem with your microphone, with your camera, your keyboard, or your device, such as cell phone or the tablet, iPad, I don't know what you're working with, but please try to fix them up. Okay, dear students, yesterday we finished about the different structure and how to express the future. We studied 3 different ways to express future. Remember, the number 1 was be going to, the number 2 was future simple with will, and yesterday we practiced present progressive for future. So today we are going to combine, we're going to combine 2 different tenses. We are going to combine present simple and future. Present simple and future. Okay? So our objective for today's class is going to be conditional number 1, or well known as first conditional. For the better understanding, dear students, I'm going to share my screen and I explain you what I am talking about. So please give me a minute and I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you. Good afternoon, Diana. Nice to see you. Thank you for starting your cameras. Okay, give me a minute. There we go. Okay, as I said, our objective for today's class is this one. First conditional. Let me use this one here. Okay. This is the first conditional. Okay? So, I need you guys to keep in your mind to start with today's class about the first conditional. We need to learn these 2 tenses. Tense number 1, present simple, and the tense number 2, future simple. Okay? This is our objective. First conditional. Okay. Adrian Rugel, could you please read this for me? Adrian, can you hear me? No? Okay.
Conditional, present simple, future simple.
Thank you very much, okay? You get a problem with your microphone? I can barely hear you. Let me use my headphones. Let me put on my headphones. So guys, if you get any problem with your devices, please try to fix them up, because it's quite difficult for me every time when we have an interaction during the class. Wow, pretty unusual. Okay, Adrian, I need you to help me. What comes to your mind when you see the word conditional? What is a conditional for you? Adrian, can you hear me? Okay, Adrian, let me put it this way. Adrian, what is a condition for you?
Una condición.
Exactly. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's going on. Could you please repeat again? Adrian, could you please repeat again what you said earlier?
No, mister.
Okay, give me a minute. I don't know why. Good problem. Hello. Okay, now. Here we go. Yes, thank you very much, Adrian. So, yes, condition in our language means condition. So basically, this concept is when we need someone's help or we need to do something. In other words, it's an action and a result, okay? Action and a result. Or might be an action and in consequences. Action and consequences, okay? So let me wipe out this and let's go back here. Yes, first conditional is like action and consequences, or an action and the results. If you do something, okay, if you do something, that action will have a consequence. If you do something good, it probably get a good result in the future. But if you carry out something wrong, it's also probably you'll get bad consequences. So this is first conditional. First conditional is the action and the consequences. Okay? So let me write here. I don't know if you see this. Yes. Okay, Diana. Good afternoon. Could you please read this for me?
Acciones y consecuencias.
Okay, but read in English, Diana. Read in English. I don't need you to translate it.
First condition, action, and consequence.
Correct. Very good. So let me stop again. Let me try to explain this part. So every time when we're talking about an action and the consequence, it's the same thing that we use in our long language. For example, somebody says, si no estudio, probablemente reprobaré. Action and the consequences, okay? So that is the first conditional. It's just the general concept of the conditional number one. So don't forget, action, consequences, or an action and the result in the future. So that was the reason I told you at the beginning of the class that it's quite important to use present simple and future. Okay? I will show you. So please give a minute. And I'm going to share my screen again. There we go. Melanie, good afternoon. Could you please read this for me?
Good afternoon. First condition.
Very good. Please continue.
One conditional take about a possible future.
Okay, thank you. So remember, future. Talk about possible future. It's possible. Remember? Well, it's not for sure. For example, I want you to look at this. Please, everyone look at both picture or both images. Okay? Look at this picture. Okay, perfect. As you can see in this picture, we have a very nice days, an outstanding days, an excellent day for going to the beach. You be nice. The sun is shining. Okay, it will be amazing. So, what might be the consequences if you go to the beach with this weather? This is the consequence. Oh, the consequence? The consequence? Well, we will have a very nice days with our friends at the beach. Yeah, because the weather is spectacular. So that is the first conditional. Is something about a possible future. I need you to read this for me. Angie, could you please read the first sentence for me?
If it is for tomorrow. Sigo leyendo.
Yeah.
He'll go to the beach.
Thank you. Okay, so here we have an action and the consequences. Okay, Natalia, could you please read the second sentence for me?
We'll go to the beach if it go tomorrow.
Thank you. So let me stop. Okay. Well, so this is the first conditional. In other words, to think something about the future, because we carry out an action or we see something in the present, so we imagine that is a probably future. Examples. Before starting, I need you to check out this. Oh, we have many students today. Nice students. Genesis, good afternoon. Could you please read this for me?
If,
Read this one.
yes,
Good. Do you have any idea about these words? Any ideas?
yes sirve para afirmar.
Correct.
If para, ok.
And if is for? You were right, come on.
Para decir algo normalmente. Condition.
Okay, could you please repeat again everything?
Lo leo.
Sure, please, thank you.
If, condition, yes, affirmation.
Good, thank you. Hector, can you hear me?
Yes, mister.
Ok, Héctor, cuando decimos la palabra if, ¿a qué nos referimos?
Condición.
Cuando decimos yes, ¿a qué nos referimos, Héctor?
Afirmando.
Afirmación, ¿verdad? Correct, thank you. Entonces, el meollo de este asunto es que ambas palabras, if como yes, en nuestro idioma significan sí. ¿Ok? Tanto if como la palabra yes tienen el significado de sí. Alright? Mariuxi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mariuxi, a partir de esto que estamos tratando el día de hoy, en este caso, las diferencias entre las palabras if and yes. En nuestro idioma, ambas significan sí. Pero ¿en qué situaciones las utilizamos?
Lo digo en español.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Cuando es una condición y es cuando estamos afirmando algo.
Ok, ¿qué es condición para ti, Mariuxi? ¿Cuándo tú utilizas un sí condicional?
Cuando algo está pasando.
No. Vamos, que siempre usamos eso nosotros. En nuestro idioma sí. Ok, let me stop. Sí, en nuestro idioma utilizamos solamente una sola palabra, tanto para afirmar como para hacer una condición. Una condición básicamente es cuando tú le dices a una persona, si tú me ayudas hoy, si tú es una condición. Si tú me ayudas hoy, ok, te aprobaré los documentos. Ok, ese es un sí condicional. Ok, y el otro que es un yes, the affirmation. So, for example, you say, are you Ecuadorian? Yes, I am. Do you like sleeping? Yes, I do. Alright? So, yes is affirmation. Yes en inglés es una afirmación. Es un sí de afirmación. Mientras tanto, la palabra if es un sí de un condicionante. Si pasa esto, el resultado es este. Okay? It's not difficult to understand this part. So that is the first conditional. El reencuentro, por favor. Primer condicional, okay, es una estructura que nos ayuda, obviamente, a denotar una acción que se desarrolla en el presente. Esa acción va a tener un resultado en un futuro, bueno o malo, dependiendo obviamente de esa acción. Como les dije hace un momento, si no estudio, pues el resultado va a ser negativo. Okay? So that is first conditional. En otras palabras, el primer condicional trata de un futuro, pues, condicionante. Okay? It's no for sure. Let me share my screen again, and I'll show you. Here we go. Let me see. Okay. Natalia, could you please read this for me again?
Tell about a possible future. We use the first conditional to tell about a situation and result in the future.
Correct. Más o menos que es como que yo te pregunte, Natalia, si ves la primera imagen, yo le pregunto, si llueve mañana, no iremos a la playa, imposible porque está lloviendo. Un condicionante es ese. Si la palabra if, si hace sol, pues sí iremos. Como usted observa, como usted está escuchando y observando la imagen, eso es condicional 1. Una acción que repercute en el futuro. This is the action and this is the result. Okay? Action and the result. Here we go. Genesis, could you please read the last part for me?
In a conditional sentence, there are two clauses. If clause and result clause.
Thank you. Okay, so let me share once again. Okay, and this part is quite easy to understand. So we have if is conditional, whilst yes is affirmation. So our word to explain the first conditional will be the word if. Okay, remember, if is condition. If condition. If in our language Spanish means si. Okay, so in the first conditional we have two different clauses. Both clauses are separated by this symbol, comma. You see the symbol? Okay, so we have over here, I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, as you can see, we have two different clauses. Clause number 1 and the clause number 2. In other words, this is the first conditional. Remember, first conditional, actions and the consequences. Okay, so in the first part, here, in the clause number 1, it's gonna be actions. And then this clause will have the consequences. Okay, you see, there are two different clauses in the first conditional. Clause number 1, is the action. Clause number 2 is going to be the consequences. Let's continue. When we're talking about actions in the clause number 1, so that means we're going to practice with the present simple. Here, present simple. And then we have the another clause. I'm sorry. So we have two. Okay, there we go. So in the other part, we're going to have future simple. There you go. It's not difficult to understand this part. Might be confused, but not difficult. Okay, let me change the color so you will see. There you go. Okay, dear student, I don't want to speak Spanish again. Remember, this is the module number 4 and I need to explain everything in English. So please try to follow. If you have any question, no problem. So click on the bottom and raise your hand. Okay, here we go. Jesus, we have just 9 students so far. Let me see. Nestor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please read the first line for me?
If action and consequence.
Read the number 2 for me, please.
If present simple, future simple.
Thank you very much. Okay, so basically, this is the structure of the conditional number 1. Okay? Conditional number 1, remember, acciones y consecuencias. Condicional número 1, la definición más sensata o la más sencilla de este condicional es que las acciones tienen consecuencias en un futuro. Obviamente que sí. Su estructura o su forma del primer condicional, pues está estructurada de 2 formas. Como usted observa, tenemos 2 cláusulas. Cláusula 1 que está con amarillo y cláusula 2 que está con verde. Ambas cláusulas están separadas por este símbolo. ¿Sí logra ver el símbolo, Diana? ¿Qué símbolo es que separa las 2 cláusulas? Correcto, una coma separa ambas cláusulas. ¿Ok? Entonces, el primer condicional cuenta con 2 cláusulas. La primera cláusula, la cláusula condicional, se la conoce así porque tiene la palabra if. En esta cláusula, ¿qué tiempo vamos a utilizar? Melanie, cuénteme. Melanie, are you there? Can you hear me? No, no está Melanie, se fue.
Ay, Mr. Diego.
Ok, no se vaya, Melanie, no se vaya.
Me moví un ratito.
Ok, no problem. Escúchame, Melanie. Como le estaba mencionando a sus compañeros, el primer condicional, que es nuestro objetivo el día de hoy, ok, este de aquí, está compuesto de 2 cláusulas. Como dijo Diana, ambas cláusulas, la primera que está con amarillo y la segunda que está con verde. ¿Ok? Ambas cláusulas están separadas por este símbolo, coma. La primera cláusula va a contener un tiempo. ¿Puedes leerlo, por favor, Melanie?
Present simple.
Present simple. ¿Y la cláusula de la consecuencia qué tiempo va a tener?
Future simple.
Future simple. Okay. Thank you. Let me stop for here. Natalia, please, you have a question.
No, mister.
Okay. Recordemos. Please, try to remember. Conditional number 1. Conditional number 1, action and consequences. Sí, una acción que tú hagas en el presente tendrá una consecuencia en el futuro. A eso se le denomina en inglés primer condicional, first conditional, okay? An action and the consequences, o an action and result, una acción y un resultado. Conditional number one form. La forma o la estructura de este condicional, pues, está hecha de dos cláusulas. Como ustedes vieron, las tuve que poner de colores diferentes. Dos cláusulas que están separadas por un símbolo, que es la coma. La cláusula condicional que tiene la palabra if, ahí va a estar el presente simple. Mientras, en la otra cláusula que estaba de color verde, va a estar el futuro simple. ¿Ok? Future simple. Natalia, si hablamos de future simple, ¿qué vamos a encontrar aquí? ¿Qué palabra en común va a estar aquí? Future simple.
El will y el want.
Yes, very good. Will or won't. Will for future. Will is positive, whilst won't is for negative. Very good. Para comprender mejor la estructura y en qué se utiliza o el uso de este, pues vamos a practicar algo que quizás algunos de ustedes hayan escuchado. Sí, algo que se le denomina superstitions. What is superstitions? ¿En ADS?
Supersticiones.
Supersticiones, sí. Muy bien, Natalia, excelente. Supersticiones. If you believe superstition or if you don't believe superstition, I don't care, ¿ok? No me interesa si cree o no cree en supersticiones. Yo las voy a tomar para mostrarles el primer condicional. ¿Estamos? Repito, no me interesa si cree o no cree. No vamos a platicar sobre eso, sino que vamos a tomar las supersticiones, pues, como parte del aprendizaje del condicional 1. ¿Ok? For example, let me share. Remember, we have two different clauses. Tenemos dos cláusulas. Present simple and future simple. So right now we're going to practice with superstitions. Okay? So let's practice with something called the superstitions. Okay? So what about the superstitions? When we're talking about superstition, we may say this. Take a look. Okay? Angie, could you please read this for me?
If you see a black cat.
Correct. ¿Cuál es la consecuencia?
Vas a tener mala suerte, algo así.
Yes, correct. Entonces, como acaba usted de decir, sí, esa es la consecuencia. La acción, ver un gato negro, la consecuencia, mala suerte. Repito, no vamos a hablar de las supersticiones, pero sí a tomarlas como referente para entender mejor el condicional 1. Entonces, aquí tenemos si, este verbo o esta estructura le pertenece al present simple. Present simple. Present simple. If you see a black cat, you will have bad luck. This word will have is future simple. You see? Future simple. This is future simple. If you see a black cat, you will have bad luck. Alright? Mariuxi, could you please read again the complete sentence?
If you see a black cat, you will have bad luck.
Correct. Mariuxi, ¿cuál es la acción?
De tendrás mala suerte. Ah,
No.
no, si ve el gato negro,
Correcto. ¿La consecuencia?
tendrás mala suerte.
Correct. Así funciona el primer condicional, ¿ok? Una acción con una consecuencia o una acción y un resultado a futuro. If you see a black cat, you will have bad luck. Ok, vamos a ver qué tal están ustedes de supersticiones, si conocen o no conocen. Next superstition. If you can anybody help me? What is the consequences?
You will have bad luck también.
Yes, it's the same. Yes, absolutely. Same thing. You completely right. Yeah, you will have bad luck. Next superstition. What is the consequence? Can anyone help me about this action? If you walk under the ladder, what is the consequence?
Sería lo mismo. You will have bad luck.
Yes, same. Yes, same. You will have bad luck. Perfect. Is that understood about the first conditional, the form, and the use? ¿Está claro el concepto del primer condicional, su uso y su forma? Hemos tomado las supersticiones como para mostrarlo, ¿ok? Como usted ve, es una acción y una consecuencia. Una acción y una consecuencia. Lo mismo que hacemos a diario cuando conversamos, cuando condicionamos a alguien y nuestra condición empieza. Si tú tal cosa, entonces yo tal cosa. Eso es condición. Quizás no sabemos ni cómo se llama en nuestro idioma, pero lo utilizamos. En inglés se le denomina condicional 1, first conditional, action and the consequences. Su forma o su estructura se basa en dos cláusulas separadas por la coma. La cláusula condicional, que es la palabra que contiene if, ¿ok? Va a estar en present simple, mientras la otra, la de consecuencia, va a estar con future. Como dijo Natalia, es will or won't. Period. Let's continue. Give you a minute and let's continue. Adrian, could you please read this for me? Adrian, could you please read this for me? No, no está Adrián. Dame un momento. Adrián, ya tiene como 3 faltas así en clases. ¿Qué pasa? Déjame ver, dame un momento, por favor. Déjame ver si ha puesto asistencia. Okay, sure, no problem, okay, but later. First, we need to continue with the class. Remember, dear students, every time I need your participation. It's an interaction, okay? I'm not the person, or I can be the one who always speaks during the class. I need you to speak to. Okay, Natalia, you have a question, tell me.
Sí, mister, lo que estaba diciendo, lo que pasa es que de las faltas, ¿cómo justificarlas? Porque es que yo ayer mi lacto estaba un poquito averiada, entonces incluso yo estudio de noche y también me pasó lo mismo, entonces creo que usted vio una actividad en hora de clase, me indicaron mis compañeros, entonces no sé si en tal caso Maya mismo usted me la puede recibir por correo.
Sure, no problem. Pero si tienes el formato, Natalia, o lo necesitas.
Sí, me lo pasaron como a las 6:30 por ahí.
Ok, no hay problema. Entonces lo envía, no hay problema, Natalia. Thank you. Ok, lo que sí necesito, estimados estudiantes, es que ustedes estén participando. Ustedes son pocos y a cada momento, y disculpen la palabra, voy a estar molestándolos, que hablen, que repitan, que interactúen. Como son muy pocos, pues van a estar repitiéndose. Son 9. En clases de 25, bueno, quizás ahí no, ya puede darse una escapadita, quizás ahí a la cocina a traer algo de piqueo y me siento otra vez a escuchar, pero aquí son muy pocos. Entonces por eso es que a cada momento trabaje, participe. Al ser obviamente pocos, estamos interactuando muchísimo. Okay, so let me share my screen again. I think it's this one. Okay, so listen please. I need you to read again. This is conditional 1, okay? Esto es condicional 1, condicional 1. Como usted ve, lo único que ha pasado aquí es que las cláusulas se han invertido. Ya la cláusula de la acción ya no está en primer lugar, sino que está la cláusula de la consecuencia. Esto no hay problema, esto pasa inclusive en nuestro idioma. You will have bad luck if a black cat crosses your path. Okay? Nestor, you tell me, true or false?
False.
False. No, it's true. Néstor, de acuerdo a las consecuencias, ok, en la primera parte dice, tendrás, es un futuro, mala suerte si un gato negro se te cruza por el camino. Como te dije, Néstor, aquí no vamos a discutir de supersticiones, simplemente lo estamos tomando a estas como parte del aprendizaje del condicional 1. Ok, so this superstition is true. Okay, so let's continue. Genesis, could you please read this for me and tell me if this superstition is true or false?
Lo leo, mister.
Yeah, sure.
If you break a mirror, you will have 7 years of bad luck.
True or false?
True.
Let me see. Yes, it's true. Correct. It's the same, you see? This is conditional. If, si. If you break, si tú rompes, presente simple. If you break a mirror, you will have 7 years of bad luck. Thank you. Let's move on. Wow, look this superstition. Seguro que sí tienen que haberla escuchado. Diana, please, read please.
If you put your choice on the table, it will bring your luck.
True or false, Diana? True. True. No. Nuestra superstición, ¿qué indica con esto? ¿Alguien ha escuchado esa superstición?
Sí, dicen que es mala suerte poner zapatos en la mesa.
Ok, pero ¿cuál es la consecuencia?
No mala suerte. Algo. Bueno, no recuerdo.
¿Alguien recuerda cuál es la consecuencia?
Mis abuelitos siempre me retaban, decían que eso era mala suerte, entonces
Ok.
está mal eso.
Ok, yeah, it's not
Me
true.
decían que era subir los pies.
Okay. Yes. Very good. Ok, aquí en Ecuador es un poco diferente. Acá cuentan, if you put your shoes on the table, you will die. You hear that? You will die. Morirás. If you put your shoes on the table, you will die. That is Ecuadorian superstition. Yes, believe me. Okay, let's continue. Let me see the other students. Mariuxi, could you please read this for me?
If you walk under a ladder, you will have bad luck.
True or false?
True. True.
Yes, very good. Yeah, es la misma superstición que tenemos acá. If you walk under a ladder, you will have bad luck. It's the same. Si caminas, if recordemos que es un si condicional. If you walk under a ladder, you will have bad luck. It's true. Perfect. Let's move on. This is very easy. Okay, that's quite easy to understand. Nestor, could you please read this for me?
If you find a tree left clover, it will ring your luck.
True or false?
True.
Okay. No, it's a, read carefully. Tienes que leer bien. Si encuentras un trébol de 3 hojas, dice ahí, no de 4. 3 left, no 4. El que te das suerte es el de 4, no el de 3. Okay, no problem. In this case, it's false. It's false. Okay, so let's continue the other one. Oh, this is very nice here in Ecuador. It's a very well-known superstition. Okay, Natalia, could you please read this superstition for me?
If you speak fast, you will have good luck.
True or false?
False.
False. Okay, yeah. But here in Ecuador, it's different. What is the superstition here in Ecuador? ¿Será la misma?
Sí, los abuelitos decían que sí.
If you spill sal, okay? Si tiras sal o riegas sal, tendrás mala suerte. I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Here in Ecuador. Okay, so let me stop just for a while. Yes, our grandparents sometimes share their stories about especially the superstition. I will show you 2 more superstition, but remember, I don't want to talk about superstition. I just take the superstition to practice conditional number 1, because for me, it's a very nice way to practice and understand at the same time how to use first conditional. Okay, so let me share again my screen and I'll show you the 2 more superstition. Ecuadorian superstition, obviously. So you're going to complete it. This one. What is the consequence for this superstition?
Sería lo mismo, you will have bad luck.
Luck? In Ecuador? Well,
Abrir un paraguas en el interior.
yes, dentro de casa, indoor. ¿Qué nos decía esa superstición? Pero en English. Try to speak English. Give it the consequence in English.
You will have die.
Okay. Correct. That is the Ecuadorian superstition. But you say someone in the family will die. Yes, absolutely. Someone or a member of the family will die. Okay, last superstition, and this is for me the best one. It's a very good superstition, I may say. This is actually the funniest superstition here in Ecuador. Okay. Okay, let me check something, because this superstition is pretty, for me, wow. Please give a minute. Up, I'm sorry, up. I'm sorry. Okay, this is a nice superstition. Okay, con esto terminamos. Esta es típica ecuatoriana. If you put the broom upside down behind the door, complete. Give it the consequences, but in English. Anyone? Anyone can complete this consequence? I'm still waiting. Come on, help me out. Complete it in English. No one? No?
Will scare bad person.
A scared bad person. Okay. The idea is good, Genesis. But remember, it's the conditional number one. And you have to use will. If you put the broom upside down behind the door. Next door. ¿Ha escuchado usted esa superstición? ¿Qué sucede? ¿Cuál es la consecuencia de ubicar una escoba detrás de la puerta al revés?
En español.
No, in English. I need you to use English. That's
Sería, it is for people to live.
Okay. But remember, la cláusula de la consecuencia tiene que ser con will, ¿ok? Porque es un futuro. Ok, está bien, Néstor, correcto, sí. Pues esta es la más divertida, la superstición que he escuchado, que pones la escoba al revés detrás de la puerta, pero yo he escuchado que es para que las visitas se vayan. Yes. Entonces, si tiene una visita...
Adelante va a poner así la escoba, dice.
Okay. Yeah. Esa es la superstición que he escuchado. If you put a broom upside down behind the door, the guest will leave. Las visitas will leave. Se van. Okay? That's the superstition. Okay. So that's the way to practice the conditional number one. Okay? So remember, la definición. Conditional number one, to talk about the future, an action and the consequence. The form, la forma. Two clauses separated by the symbol comma. The conditional clause present simple. The consequence clause, future simple. And we can use it to talk about something that we do in the present and the result in the future. Okay? So, let's continue. Let's see something else. Okay, should be somewhere else. I think it's this one is correct. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Good. Okay, so let's practice first conditional. This is a good activity. Now, this is a story about a boy who wants to go to somewhere else in a different country, a different province or another city or different town. And this guy is trying to persuade his father, okay? He's trying to persuade his father because the father is very, let me put it this way, the father doesn't want him to go anywhere because he is his only child. He's very worried about his child, but in spite of that, the boy wants to go there. And the boy says, I'm going on an adventure. I'm going to be the USA for a month. I'm going alone. I'm going to camp. I have $500 in total. So I can spend $60 a day. I'm so excited for my trip. Okay, and this is the father. Let's see what the father says. Let's see what the father says. Hector, could you please read this for me?
I don't know if you're reading. I fact is in you're going to have a lot of problems. So before I let you go, you have to answer my question. If your answer are not going
Enough.
You enough have to stay at home.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's see what about the answer that his father wants to ask. Let's practice. Okay, Angie, could you read the question number 1?
What will you do if you get lost?
Thank you. Ok, aquí le comienza a preguntar al papá. ¿Qué harás? Está en un futuro, ¿verdad? ¿Qué harás si te pierdes? ¿Qué harás si te pierdes? Génesis, ¿qué le contesta el niño? Inglés. Genesis, can you hear me? No, Genesis is not here. Okay, let me check. Okay, no problem. Melanie, could you please read what the boy says?
If I get lost, I will have some where I am.
Correct. So the boy says, si me pierdo, le preguntaré a alguien dónde me encuentro. ¿Ok? No solamente para las supersticiones, también para la vida cotidiana cuando hablamos, ¿verdad? Esto es el primer condicional. If I get lost, si me pierdo. If I get lost, I'll ask someone where I am. Good. Let's continue. Torres Diana, could you please read the question?
What will you do if you run out of money?
Thank you. Run out. Run out of money means quedarse sin dinero. Run out of money. Okay? So let's see what the boy says. Hector, could you please read this for me, please? Hector, are you there?
Sí, mister.
Please read this for
¿Me
me.
escucha?
Yes. Read, please, Hector. Read.
Un momento que no carga el pie.
Yes, I'm listening. Read, please. No? Okay, no problem. Jesus Christ, come on. Okay, let me check somebody else. Mariuxi, could you please read this for me?
If I run out of money, I got you and you will send me more.
Correct. El niño básicamente dice, si me quedo sin dinero, si me quedo, si el condicional, ¿verdad? If I run out of money, I call you and you'll send me more. Si me quedo de dinero, te llamo y me envías más. Period. That is first conditional. Let's continue. Question. Natalia, please read the question.
What will you do if you lost your passport?
Correct. ¿Qué harás si pierdes el pasaporte? Diana, please read it.
If I lost my passport.
Mm-hmm.
¿Sí me escucha?
Yes, I'm listening.
Entonces,
Okay. If I lose my passport, I'll go to embassy. Entonces, si pierdo mi pasaporte, iré a la embajada. ¿Ok? Entonces, esto es como más o menos como un círculo vicioso, ¿ok? Le vas preguntando, vas respondiendo. ¿Ok? Melanie, thank you. Read the question for me.
Where will you sit if you love your thing?
Correct, thank you. ¿Dónde dormirás si pierdes tu tienda? Let's see what the boy says. Angie, please read again.
if I lose my thing, I won't sleep outside. I'll stay at a youth hostel.
Correct, thank you. So the boy says, si pierdo mi tienda, no dormiré fuera. Está en negativo. Permaneceré en un hostal para jóvenes. Okay? So this is the conditional number one. Ok, vamos a profundizar un poco antes de trabajar la primera actividad del condicional 1. ¿Ok? ¿En qué? En su estructura. ¿Ok? Su forma. Como ya sabemos, su forma original, obviamente, del condicional 1 es dos cláusulas. La cláusula en present simple y la otra cláusula en futuro. Como les mencioné en la primera slide presentation, no hay problema si usted invierte las cláusulas. No problem, ¿ok? La cláusula con if la pone en segundo lugar y le da la consecuencia en primero. Lo mismo va a dar. No problem. Okay, so please give a minute and I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you the first conditional structure of for. Please give a minute. Okay, so this is the first conditional form. Let's see the part number 1. Nestor, could you please read this for me?
If I study, I will pass my exam.
Correct, thank you. Hector, read the second one. Hector, read the number 2, please. No? Nestor, please, read the number 2, please.
I will pass my exams if I study.
Correct, thank you. Como pueden apreciar, no hay problema si invertimos la cláusula. El condicional puede estar delante, como usted observa. If I study, y la cláusula de la consecuencia en segundo lugar, como la ve aquí. I will pass my exam. Podemos invertirla, no hay problema. Ponemos la cláusula de la consecuencia antes. I will pass my exam. Y después, la condicionante. If I study. Lo único que va a hacer la diferencia es la coma. Cuando ubicamos la cláusula condicional, perdón, la cláusula de la consecuencia antes, no separamos con coma. Es lo único. ¿Ok? Ahora sí, vamos intentando comprender. Tenemos aquí el present simple, como ustedes lo ven, ¿ok? La cláusula condición o la condicionante es aquella que tiene la palabra if, que significa si. Si estudio. If I study is the present simple. Whilst the consequences is future simple. You see? I'll pass. Aprobaré mis exámenes. I will pass. Okay? So it's present simple and future. So let's move on. Let's continue this, okay? Let me see. Natalia, could you please read this for me?
We use it to talk about possible situation and the day consequence in the future.
Thank you. You see? Posibles situaciones y consecuencias en el futuro. ¿Ok? Eso es el uso de first conditional. Nosotros utilizamos muchísimo el primer condicional, más cuando vamos a recomendar a alguien, ¿verdad? Quizás un compañero una suyo o un familiar suyo en algún momento le recomienda algo. Quizás usted dice o alguien de ustedes dice, ¿sabes qué? En este feriado, déjame pensar algo mejor. De pronto va a pasar algo, y espero que no, pero bueno, la jugamos. Como está Double hoy en día, está un poco peligroso, como conocemos, por todo lo que está sucediendo. Y alguien que no pertenece a Double, ¿okay? Alguien que lo ve desde afuera, quizás desde otro cantón, quizás desde otra provincia mismo. Imaginémonos que si una persona viene aquí a Double, ¿ok? Y antes de venir acá, alguien le dice, oye, me voy a pasar el fin de semana a Double. Y alguien te dice, si tú vas a Double, anda llevando. O si tú vas a Double, no salgas por la noche. Si tú vas a Double, por favor, no te quedes hasta altas horas de la noche. Eso es primer condicional. ¿Ok? Eso es first conditional. Porque estás haciendo un futuro que aún no ha pasado, pero te basas en la idea general. Recuerda que eso vimos cuando trabajamos Future Simple con Will, que nos basamos en una idea general. Estamos prediciendo algo, pero a base de una idea general. Si tú vas a Double, if you go to Double, please, you will, and then you give the consequences, okay? It's the same. For example, if you say, if you go to Montañitas, Si vas a montañitas, what do? ¿Qué vas a hacer? Okay, if you go to montañitas, okay, if I go to montañitas, I will swim in the river. If I go to montañitas, I will drink alcohol. Okay, obviously, if you go to montañitas, I will dance all night. If I'll go to montañitas, I will smoke. Yeah, that is conditional number one. Yeah, that's conditional. So an action and the consequences, okay, is the same. So let's go back to the previous PowerPoint presentation. Take a look. Vamos a ver su forma. Recordemos, first conditional, you see, puede presentarse tanto en tanto en negativo como en su forma interrogativa. In positive, okay? Angie, could you read the positive, the negative, and the interrogative form?
No lo entendí.
I want you to read positive, negative, and interrogative form, please.
If I study, I will pass my exam. Negative. If I don't study, I won't pass my exams. Question. If I study, will I pass my exams?
Thank you, Angie. But remember, la palabra aquí es yo, es I, no I, right? If I study. If I don't study. Thank you. Entonces, al ser la cláusula condicional present simple, vamos a encontrarnos con las terceras personas. ¿Ok? Terceras personas, pues es algo que usted ya vio en módulo número 2, que son aquellas que, pues, como en el verbo study, le tenemos que agregar un sufijo. Studies, ¿ok? So let's practice. Melanie, please read positive, negative, and interrogative, please.
If he study, he will pass his exam. If he don't study, he won't pass his exam. If he study, will he pass his exam?
Thank you. I appreciate it, okay? So it's time to practice. Please, give a minute. Okay, so let's practice. I have already sent a link on the chat box. So please, everyone click on it and do it, please. Complete activity is conditional number 1. Con esto yo quiero trabajar la estructura del condicional 1 entre el present simple y future simple. Okay? For this activity, dear students, you will have 10 minutes. Complete it, please. 10 minutes.
Mister, pero aún no envía el link por el chat. Oh, sí.
Really? Okay, let me check again. There you go, I'm sorry. Please, everyone click on it and register. Just don't register your attendance. Click on the link and work, please. You got 10 minutes to finish the activity. A student so far. 4 minutes. Okay, dear students, for today class, we're going to finish now. I have something to do in the next 30 minutes. Just for today and only for today, we finish at 4:30. All right? So thank you very much, dear students, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.